All right, ladies and gentlemen, guys, we'd like to welcome you to the show. This is your host of the evening, DJJustJayOK with Just Dimes ENT. I'm here to tell you guys about a story that I ran across, and thank you to everybody that sent it to me. I've had a couple people send me this story in the comments section. You could always email me at the@gmail.com. That's usually when I'm checking for the stories, but thank you guys also for sending me this story. So here we go. I'm here to talk about a grandmother and the dynamic that we talk about here at the So Do You Dig as we advocate for children first. This is another story, another egregious story about a mother that was abusive to a child. The reason why I pick a lot of these stories is because of the fact, one thing people cannot dispute is whenever there is violence that goes on with children, there's no excuse for it. There's nothing a toddler can do to an adult at all to make an adult kill and mutilate that. Look at this beautiful face. That is such a beautiful, innocent face. You know, God be with her, man. It really bothers me, man. It really does. Like I said, you know, from a father's standpoint, I remember when my daughter was born. I've been with my daughter the entire time. I love my baby the same now, being age 11, as I did from the moment that she was born. I really do. But here we go. The death of a 20-month-old girl was found stabbed and burned inside an oven of a Mississippi Delta home led to a murder charge Tuesday against the child's grandmother, authorities said. Her name is, in this case, where is it at? Let me see if I can get her name back up on the screen real quick. I closed out too many pages. Carolyn Jones. Carolyn Jones, who's age 48, was found by Bolivar County Sheriff's Office, and Kelvin Williams Sr., who is the county sheriff, said that Carolyn Jones was charged with first-degree murder in the death of the little baby's name was Royalty Marie Floyd in the town of Shaw. Again, her name was Royalty Marie Floyd. That was the baby's name. He said, "I've been doing law enforcement for about 25 to 26 years now," Williams told the Associated Press. And he said this is one of the most horrific things he's seen during all his years of law enforcement. And the hardest part is to see a child victim. Now, he said authorities had no immediate answers to the death of the woman's granddaughter. Now, Jones made an initial appearance on Tuesday evening before a judge who set her bail at $500,000. Now, why she gets a bail, I don't know. Now, Jones remains jailed, and it wasn't immediately clear if she had a lawyer who could speak for her. Now, sheriff's officials say Floyd lived with Jones while Floyd's mother lived elsewhere. I'm going to say that again. Something that Tommy talks about all the time. Sheriff's officials say that Floyd lived with Jones, Carolyn Jones, the grandmother, while Floyd's mother lived elsewhere. Want to know one thing they're not going to talk about? What's our hashtag over here? Hashtag, where's the father? It is important to know where the father is and why was the father not given a chance. The mother wouldn't leave the child with the father, but she'll leave it with the grandmother, this crazy ass grandmother. Don't you guys think that's a bit odd? And what does the grandmother do? She murders this little baby Royalty. Wouldn't even give the father a chance. How many hashtag where's the fathers can we get in the chat one time? Williams said Jones' brother found the body Monday night and called police in Shaw, a town about 2,000 people approximately, 100 miles or 160 kilometers northwest of Jackson, and police in turn called the sheriff's office and others for assistance. Now, spokesman Warren Strain at the Mississippi Department of Public Safety said investigators are still probing for the cause of the girl's death, as well as when exactly the girl died and whether that was before she was placed in the oven. The child's body has been sent to State Crime Lab in Pearl for an autopsy, though Williams said the autopsy results were not complete on Tuesday. Now, Jones was arrested when police arrived at the home and held overnight for questioning while charges were ready, the sheriff said. That was the only person who was there with the child at that time, Williams said. Now, authorities say that there are no immediate information about the circumstances leading up to the child's death at this moment. That was hard to say, Williams said. We don't know. He added, dark days such as these can only be brightened when justice is served. And you guys are going to hear from him. From him in just a moment. I'm sorry, I'm getting tongue-tied. The sheriff said the murder charge was filed after consultations with Bolivar County Bolivar. You guys will be able to tell me how I'm supposed to pronounce that. Bolivar, Bolivar, County District Attorney Brenda Mitchell. Mitchell didn't immediately return a phone call and after email seeking comment Tuesday. The child was found inside a beige frame house on the north end of Shaw. Police tape still surrounded part of the house Tuesday morning, while a stroller, a high chair, and a trash barrel of toys included a scooter, which you guys will see in the photos, sat near the curb in front of the house. Williams said those toys had belonged to the child. Neighbors said they rarely saw anyone coming in and out of the home, which is also very strange. A woman in Greenville, about 20 miles from Shaw, pleaded guilty to killing her 3-year-old son in a heated oven in March of 2011. So apparently this is a trend out there in this area. Terry Robinson pled guilty to murder in 2012 in the death of Tristan Robinson. Washington County Coroner Methel Johnson said an autopsy found Robinson had died from heat injuries sustained in an electric oven. Man, I don't know what the hell is going on with these people, but check this out. What I'm going to do is I'm going to give you guys the videos real quick about the news story, and then we're going to go ahead and start, but I'm going to give you guys the fair usage first. Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without the authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use and is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107. Thank you very much. Let's go ahead and start with our first video.
One person is in custody after Mississippi authorities discovered the body of a 20-month-old baby who was stabbed, placed in an oven, and baked. The toddler's grandmother, 48-year-old Carolyn Jones, was arrested and has been charged with first-degree murder. Authorities say the body of royalty Marie Floyd has been sent to the state crime lab to determine if she died prior to being placed in the oven or after. Meanwhile, Sheriff Kelvin Williams Sr. says he's been trying to wrap his head around this unthinkable act.
I've seen some horrific things, but this is one of the most bothersome ones that I've ever encountered. Anytime that there's children involved, it's that's a different outlook when law enforcement.
The grandmother is being held on a $500,000 bond.
Bolivar County Sheriff has confirmed a grandmother stabbed her granddaughter and placed the toddler inside a hot oven.
She said the baby had an evil spirit. A little child like that, evil spirit, they don't know nothing about no evil.
Oh my God, come on, man. What the hell did he just say? Man, I'm gonna play this one more time for you guys so y'all can hear him speak like he just got off the fucking plantation. Listen to this shit again.
Inside a hot oven.
She said the baby had an evil spirit. A little child like that, evil spirit, they don't know nothing about no evil.
They don't know nothing about no evil spirit. They don't know nothing about that. They don't know nothing. Lord have mercy. Look, guys, I know I don't speak very properly, and you guys have heard me mess up sometimes doing these stories, but one thing that I can tell you is that I at least try. I at least work on my voice, my verbiage, the way that I speak, the way that I read, and I just think that speaks volumes about the fact of how far our people are actually behind. Lord have mercy.
Fox 13's Tom Dees is live in Shaw, Mississippi, where he has watched investigators work and talked to neighbors. Tom, you are a professional. I've known you a lot of years, and I know that today was tough for even someone like you.
Rick Rooster said he just got his freedom papers. It's not funny, but it is funny. It is funny, man. What's up, guys in the chat? What's going on to everybody?
This is possibly the toughest story that I've ever covered, by the way, being a father myself. I want to let you know that 48-year-old Carolyn Jones, we do know, has been charged with first-degree murder in this case. She's being held on a $500,000 bond. I want to show you where MBI investigators were this afternoon. We do know they were working down towards this corner of the street, saw two MBI cars parked down there. We saw them down there taking photographs of the house. They also took photographs of these toys that are over here that are in these dumpster bins out front, and we saw them taking pictures near the back of the house as well. Now, meanwhile, I want to tell you, people here in Shaw are telling me that they're calling for swift justice.
I like that, and the people are speaking out. Thank God for that.
But in my opinion,
this woman didn't want her face shown, but she had some tough words for the person responsible for killing the child and stuffing her in the oven.
do her the same way. That's my opinion.
The Bolivar County Sheriff's Department is not releasing the name of the relative that was picked up in the case. Neighbors did tell us a family of 4 lived in the house, including the 20-month-old, the child's mother, uncle, and grandmother.
Did y'all hear that? I'm going to back it up a little bit. Let me let y'all hear that one more time.
Neighbors did tell us a family of 4 lived in the house.
A family of 4 lived in the house,
including the 20-month-old, the child's mother.
The 20-month-old baby, again, golly. The baby lived there. The grandmother lived there. The mother of the baby, Royalty Marie Floyd, lived there, as well as
uncle and grandmother.
And the uncle. In that little bitty ass house? I don't live in the most lavish conditions at all. Not even close. But I live here by myself. And I think the size of my place is about the size of, probably bigger than that, than what 4 people live in. That's ridiculous.
This neighbor who didn't want to be identified tells me she never suspected anything. She also told me the child's mother works in Memphis.
Like I said, they came off as nice people. They've been here about a year or 2, and they always kept to themselves. They never bothered nobody, and that's why I said I couldn't just...
They never bite nobody. They never bite nobody. They never bite nobody.
It was so unreal when it happened last night.
For a good part of the afternoon, MBI agents photographed the house from all angles. We watched as they worked. Neighbors tell me they rarely, if ever, saw the family that lived there.
They kept to themselves, like, only time if they'll come out, like, if they need...
Only time they come out, they keep themselves, and they'll never buy nobody. They'll never buy nobody. Only time we ever seen it, we know that the uncle lived there, the grandmother lived there, the baby mama lived there, and the little 20-month-old baby, they all living there.
Some help with anything, but other than that, they didn't fool with nobody. They ain't buy nobody. They ain't fool with nobody. Interact with nobody, and they been here about a year or 2 years.
But this tops the cake here. This above all that.
This here top the cake right here. Y'all hear that? This here, that right there top the whole cake. Guys, I can explain this to you, but I cannot understand it for you. I'm going to read that again. I can explain it to you, but I cannot understand it for you. I really can't.
I ever seen and heard of chopping up a child. No excuse.
Chopping up child. Ain't no cue for that there. No, Lordy. Ain't no cue for that there.
The child was found inside an oven.
An act so heinous, this longtime investigator struggled to make sense of it.
I've been in law enforcement a long time, 26 years almost. I've been from St. Louis to here. Some of the most horrific scenes that I've seen in law enforcement involve children.
Investigators say a relative found the toddler inside an oven at this home Monday night. Bolivar County Sheriff Calvin Williams Sr. said the little girl who lived at the home was stabbed and burned.
Don't nothing go on around here like this.
Tommy would have had a field day with this shit here, man. Y'all hear this? Lord have mercy, man.
Don't nothing go on around here like
that. Ain't nothing around here. Them people, 9 people we never seen. They don't been here about a year or 2. Grandmother, grandbaby, uncle, and the grandma live in that house right there. They don't know. And by the way, Jason Gunn said that this house is a dual dwelling. So picture that. I seriously doubt if they had access to both sides. It's just, I don't know. It's so much wrong with this. Let's hear what this woman had to say. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to diss the neighbor, but they literally sound like they came out of the Jim Crow era. Seriously.
I'm dead burned.
don't nothing go on around here like this. This is a baby. My God.
Neighbors say they rarely saw anyone coming in and out of the home. They're shocked to hear.
Do y'all see this house? Let me show y'all this again. Guys, seriously. I'm the type of person, like I said, my father raised me to make my money on my own, so I grew up having a yard cutting business. And one of the things that I always notice when I look at these houses is I look at the yard, see when's the last time it had any level of maintenance, and it doesn't look like this one ever has. To where the grass has overgrown the edge of the street and growing onto the street, meaning it's never had any level of manicuring. The fence, what's the point of that fence when you can literally walk through it, walk around it, possibly walk through it? You know, the weeds on the left side, you know, also you can also tell that house has a bunch of personal air conditioning units, meaning it doesn't have any central heating and air. It's just so much wrong here. And yes, it is a dual dwelling, meaning which side of this house or this abode were 4 people living in? Which side? Were they living in both? That's probably too small for one person to live in, let alone 4. But let's keep going.
Out of the home, they're shocked to hear this happen to an innocent child.
It's a baby. It's an innocent child. She didn't ask to be here.
That baby, innocent child, didn't ask to be here. But I will tell you this, as much as I'm making fun of these people, because I think it is funny, the fact that they are extremely underdeveloped as far as their speech. One thing that she said was 100% correct. That baby did not ask to be here, and that baby is defenseless. The reason why we speak on these stories the way that we do is because we advocate for children first, because children cannot defend themselves against adults. They can't. We have to be the voice for them. We have to be the protection for them. The mother and the father, the mother and the father, the mother and the father, not the grandmother and not the uncle. You guys got that? Not DHS, not the state, not the police, not your neighbors. It is the mother and father's responsibility. The world that we live in allows the mother to have unmolested, no pun intended, access to this kid and prevention of the father being able to have any level of access to this kid without jumping through hoops and hurdles as if this was Superman 64. Some of you guys will get that joke. Most of you will not. But let's keep going.
Child.
It's a baby. It's an innocent child. She didn't ask to be here. I mean, if they didn't want her, why keep her?
Sheriff Williams Sr. says the child's body was taken to the Mississippi Crime Lab in Jackson for an autopsy. One person has been taken into custody. The sheriff's office and the police department are working with the Mississippi Bureau of Investigation.
Dark days such as these can only be brightened when justice is served.
One or two more videos and we're going to go ahead and get up out of here, guys.
The NBI is investigating after a baby was brutally murdered in Shaw, Mississippi. Reports say the baby was stabbed and then placed in a lit oven. Fox 13 Shelby Sansone traveled to Bolivar County and spoke with people who you can imagine are shocked this morning.
I want to know where is the mother and hashtag where is the father. Thank you very much for asking that question. The mom's Facebook page, thank you for posting that. We're gonna take a look at that. Matter of fact, let me copy that message right now. So Bear actually posted the mother's Facebook page link. I'm going to make sure and save that, as I definitely want to take a look. And if you guys know how to get in contact with the mother, tell her that DJ Just Jay wants an explanation about this, as well as the rest of the world.
I talked to several neighbors who were just horrified after hearing what happened in Shaw, Mississippi. I want you to take a look at what we're seeing out here. You can see that there is a high chair sitting here, boxes for toys, and then you look at two garbage cans outside this home. One has toys, the other has crime scene tape. Several local news outlets reported that a baby was stabbed and put inside an oven, and that oven was on. WTVA reports someone is in custody for the crime. I did talk to the sheriff for...
Again, the grandmother's name, age 40, she's 48 years old also. Carolyn Jones. Think about that. Put that into perspective. How old is her daughter? And then the fact that her daughter has this newborn. Where's the mother? Hashtag, where's the father?
Oliver County. He tells me he'll be sending information about this homicide investigation soon. Now, we're gathering information still, and of course we will have more information for you in our later newscasts. Reporting from Shaw, Mississippi, Shelby Sanzone, Fox 13 News.
The NBA is investigating after a baby was brutally...
Guys, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up right there, and this is what I have to say about the rest of this at the end of the day. Number one, the fact that we continue to breed children, we don't want them. We raise them in these nasty ass conditions as grown people. We're already here. We don't have a choice when it comes to us being here. We're already here. We do have a choice as to where we want to live. We do have a choice as to us earning a living and us making just choices. Even if you do live in this house, it's possible to do something as simple as cut the fucking grass. You know, I'm sorry, but I'm sure that you could find, you know, some people out there for cheap labor. I'm not going to throw, you know, any ethnicities out there, but I'm sure you guys know what I'm talking about. That'd be willing to come cut this yard and manicure it and do it real nice and good for about 40 bucks. If you're willing to spend $100 for some weave, you should be willing to spend 40 bucks to make your yard look nice for a few weeks. In my opinion, that would at least make your house look like it doesn't suck. But I think it speaks to the mental sickness that's going on in our neighborhoods, in our community. Guys, I'm gonna take this picture back. Let me go backwards for a moment. Let's pause this. Look at that face. And you guys tell me, for anybody that doesn't like the fact of what I speak of and the things that I talk about in my stories, and for the people that say, you know, well, other communities of people do it and this and that, and why do you always have to find the negative? What I want you guys to understand about me is what would cause anybody, any human being, to do something like this to this person. She can't defend herself. She can't talk. She probably is not potty trained. She doesn't know anything. And on top of that, she has the most beautiful face in this world. If I could ask God to do anything, I would say, bring this little girl back and at least give her a chance with her father. Maybe she would have had a chance to live. I'll say that again. If we could do this all over again, I would say at least give the father a chance. I don't know what possessed the grandmother to do it. Just a hateful bitch. And I'll say that. A hateful bitch took the life of this beautiful, innocent, black-eyed, beautiful soul. This baby right here. That hurts for me to have to do this story. It really does. It pisses me off, and I hate people. The world needs to be scrubbed of people that would continue to hurt and disrespect children, kill children, and anything like that. Give the fathers a chance. Hashtag where's the father? Give the fathers a chance. If you think the father is that terrible, then we need to start doing our due diligence before we start having these children. From the preliminary reports listed, it says that baby Royalty Marie Floyd was found stabbed and baked in an oven at 325 degrees. from the degree of contortions, she had to have been in the oven for over 2 hours, thus destroying any forensic evidence as to the exact cause of death. She was found by her granduncle. Royalty's mother, Veronica Jones, lived in Memphis, Tennessee, and she was notified of her child's death by Shelby County deputies at her place of employment. Royalty has been sent to the Mississippi State Crime Lab for autopsy to determine the exact cause of death. That's the end of the story. Matter of fact, that's where I'm going to cut it right there.